Hello, paddle lovers, followers, all the amazing people that listen to this podcast. Welcome back to the Off Court Podcast, the
What's
paddle
up?
podcast covering all your paddle needs. As you know, I'm your co-host, Hugh. This is...
Connor, what's
Here
up,
we
guys?
go. Episode 24. So we are back after a little break. We
Yes.
have been a little bit quiet for the past few weeks, and we have missed 3 tournaments.
Yes, and of course they're the tournaments where 2 of them, Chingalan beat Goya
Yeah.
and Tapia. So we missed out on the juice. That's why we thought we'd come back on this off week here.
Yes.
And we're going to do a little recap. So if you guys also missed out on the paddle over the last few weeks, you're going to sit down with us and we're going to go through everything that we missed, all the highlights, all of the juicy stuff, all of the beef, all of the drama, the Lebron beef, if anyone's interested. And just some fun other talking points. And it'll be a chill sesh. So grab a snack, sit down with us, and let's go through it. But before we do that, a little catch up, Hugh. It's been a minute since we've been here,
It's
man.
been a minute. I mean, guys, we've had like holidays and like, personal stuff that comes into our lives. So sometimes we just can't review every single tournament, but
We're here.
we are here and we're very excited. It's been a while, but yeah, it's been good, man. Since I last saw you, I have been playing quite a bit of paddle. Played a bit of paddle back in Spain. I did a little tournament with my friends back in Spain. That was really fun. I haven't told you about this
No, you
yet.
didn't actually.
Like a little just friendly. It was like 2 hours. 8 of us.
Nice.
And we did like rotation of pairs.
Americano stylish.
Style, yeah, but
Okay.
like kind of, yeah. And it wasn't like king of the court. It was also just like everyone sort of, let's see if everyone can play with everyone kind of thing.
Can everyone play with everyone?
No.
Oh,
I
nice.
think mathematically, unless you have more time,
Yeah.
I think it's a bit complicated, but we tried our best. But nonetheless, it was super fun. We did like half hour.
Amazing.
So you played 4 half-hour games, basically.
Nice. Okay, sweet. How did you do? Did you come out on top?
I won every single one.
Oh, shit. Okay,
Yeah.
there we go. Okay, good.
I'm definitely by far the worst player.
Oh, so what? You were playing with a really, really good player then?
Well, because we swapped teams as well. All my partners were really good, but we had like 4 sort of top level and 4 lower level, let's say. So we tried to pair each one with each one like accordingly, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
we
totally.
had 4 really good players and then 4 that weren't as good.
I see.
So to try and make it equal,
you were
even.
skill-based matchmaking.
Exactly, yeah. But I somehow won every single one of them. So
there you go.
maybe I'm the best.
You're a smurfing man, maybe, or something
Yeah.
like that.
How about you? How's everything with you?
Good
How's it
as
been?
well. I was out in Portugal and I managed to play some paddle out there, which I'm super happy about.
Nice.
One of the cheapest paddle experiences I've had in a very long time. We paid about €7 each for like an hour and a half, and we were speaking to the people who run the club, and I was just like, "Can I just have the balls? Can you give us the rack?" There's like no rental fees or anything. I was just like, "I'm in heaven."
Yeah.
Paid such small amounts of money compared to London. And then obviously I was over in New York as well for a little bit of time, and I tried to play paddle out there, and we're going to have a little segment there, but it was way more expensive. So if you want to hear the prices of if you want to play paddle in New York, you're not going to, I think, at this rate, but we're going to get into there. So I came back and I was a little hungry for paddle, and I joined a game back in London on my local courts here, and I was excited for it. I rock up. And, we're going to shout out someone here who's actually a listener. And I ended up playing against them, and I didn't realize they're a listener of the podcast till after the game. But I rock up to the club, and on my court, no one's there, or there's a game waiting to finish. And then I look over on the left, and there's a court there, and there's just one guy training smashes. Robbie, I don't know if you saw me see that, but I was just like, okay, fuck, I hope I'm not playing against this guy. Yeah. And then it was our slot. Obviously, he walks on the court. And fuck, I lose the game 6-2, 6-2.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like that, I'll be honest. But it's one of those games where it felt tighter, but at the end of the day, you lost. So I wanted to shout out Robbie as well, who came up to me at the end, and he was like, I recognize your voice. Very, very sweet of you. Very nice of you.
That's so cool, man.
Always awesome to meet real life humans that also listen to our podcast. So big shout out to you, man. Lovely game. And we'll play again in the future, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But that's kind of the catch up, really. And we have a whole smorgasbord of topics here that we want to get into.
Yeah.
And we're gonna go chronologically. We missed Germany P2, Rotterdam P1, and obviously Milan P1 as well. Let's jump into Germany because the finals there were fucking crazy, man.
Yeah,
the first tournament where Chingalan beat
Chingalan bit Coelho and
Tapia.
Tapia. The first time they've beat them since the Italy major.
Yeah, and 2 sets as well.
Yeah. Which they won as well. So we're kind of gonna go through these relatively quickly and then just kind of do like a overall this 3 last tournament sort of analysis at the end as well.
I mean, when I was away, man, and obviously, I was enjoying my time away, but also keeping up to date a little bit, and I just see, it's a Chingalan Coelho Tapia final. We're almost at the end of the season now, and I'm like, I know how this is gonna go down. It's gonna be another 6-4, 6-4. Coelho and Tapia win, that middle break that they seem to get them every time over this last year or season. And I just see they won 7-6, 6-2, dude. Yeah. What the hell happened, man?
So the first time that Chingalan has won a tiebreak against Coelho and Tapia to give them that first set, which they took 7-6.
Insane.
And then they went on to win the second set 6-2, which is kind of like, it's kind of crazy.
So what, did they give up in the second set? Did they just crack them,
it was a few things. I think mainly, like, if we look at the stats here, the winners and the unforced errors are practically identical. In fact, Coelho and Tapia did get one more winner than Chingalan, even though they ended up losing.
Damn.
The difference here was definitely in the break points. They just played better at those specific moments. They broke them 3 times, Chingalan.
Right, I'm seeing the stats here now.
3 out of 7 and 1 out of 3 for Coelho and Tapia. So what they do so well always, which is holding that serve and breaking other people, they kind of struggle with that. And
I see.
And Chingalan came out on top. Also, shout out to, we're going to get into this as well a bit later, but like, smash conversion and how that's going down between the big 3, Tapia, Coelho, and Galán.
Yes,
at least in this match we saw just a 50% smash conversion for Tapia, 31% for Coelho, which is terrible.
So he was slacking a little bit.
And then a staggering 27 winners for Galán with a 55% conversion rate.
Man, wait, on this, does it feel like Galán's playing at his best at the moment? Do you think? I feel like he's had some moments this year.
Both.
Push aside, the whole Chingotto, sometimes he's playing amazing. Sometimes, he's not pushing Galán to the best. There's been just a few moments this season, even compared to last season, where I feel like I'm watching Galán play some insane paddle. So I wanted to know if you think that as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think I don't think he's increased his level necessarily, because he's always been obviously like so good, but I think he is being more consistent.
Yeah, okay, I'll take you on that.
I do think he is being more consistent, and he's not getting as frustrated as he sometimes lets himself get.
Yes.
And maybe that comes, I think, maybe because of winning more, and therefore less stress, less need to play better. You know what I mean?
Seeing the results to some degree.
Like kind of easier in that sense. So but yeah, we'll talk about it at the end when we go through all of them, but I've got some stats as well to support that.
Literally. And before we go on to Rotterdam now, obviously we want to touch on Tria Brea defeating Sanchez Jose Maria 6-4, 4-6, 6-3, a 3-set final.
3-setter.
We're gonna have a little segment after we brush through all of these tournaments that we missed, and we're going to compare the points. Obviously, we're approaching the Barcelona Finals, so we want a little overview now until the next couple of months till we get there. Who's pushing who? How close is the race? Just for this season. And Tria and Brea.
The number 1's who are no longer, as you guys know, Sanchez and Jose Maria. They won these last 3. They won.
Tria and Brea.
Tria Brea have won Germany, Rotterdam, and Milan. The 3 of them against Sanchez and Jose Maria.
Man.
So the female Classico, if you want to call it that, has gone to who are increasing their advantage now. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you're the same as me, but we're big Tria and Brea fans. So much love to Sanchez and Jose Maria, but we like to see the competition, and obviously we'll talk about it in our following segment. But let's go over to Rotterdam, where I believe Coelho and Tapia got a little bit of revenge back. They kind of showed them like, hey, guys, you won one P2 or
Relax.
P1. Like, chill. You
Yeah.
won Germany. You won the first Germany
You won in
Premier
Düsseldorf,
Padel. Yeah,
dude.
exactly, dude.
Is that even a real
Yeah.
city?
Exactly. Sounds like a little French castle,
Yeah.
German castle.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're back in Rotterdam
Which,
over
by the
here.
way, just a little shout out to Rotterdam, because
Yes.
I know both of us were big fans of the Rotterdam tournament, which has now received an upgrade because it used to be a P2.
Now it's P1.
Last year it was a P2, I'm pretty sure.
Uh-huh.
And it's been like upgraded to a P1.
Well, I'm
so
glad.
shout out Netherlands
Yes.
for bringing the paddle and showing love to the sport, and also the fans.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
It is growing a lot in that country as well.
Yeah.
But it's always a treat to watch the Rotterdam P1, and hopefully we're not too far from Rotterdam, so hopefully maybe
We
next
can
year or something one day we can go
Get the
see
ferry.
it live.
The
Yeah.
ferry over, just
Yeah.
get a plane. Actually, it's like a 1-hour flight. But yeah, we'd love to see that. Plus, normally the crowd at Rotterdam, or last year at least, was just like so plugged in, tuned in, and they were there and hyped for the paddle. So I love seeing tournaments where the fans are there and they show up and they show their support. But obviously, as we said, Koyan Tapia won. Yeah, it's a P1.
6-3-7-6.
Yeah.
I mean, they nearly, Chingalan were close to taking that second possible tie break they would have taken from Koyo Tapia, but they didn't manage to do that and take it to the third set. I mean, Koyo and Tapia converted 4 out of 4 break points.
Right.
So that was the main thing. They had this exact same amount of unforced errors, but the main difference here, and I mean, winners-wise, Koyo and Tapia got a few more, actually 4 more than Chingalan, which isn't a massive, but out of the stats here, the main difference was the forced errors, which never really get a shout out because we always talk about winners and unforced errors, but sometimes the forced errors as well play a big part. You know, it was 17 forced errors for Chingalan versus 8 to Koyo and Tapia, so that's a few more points they got just from like being more aggressive, playing different angles and not letting, maybe just not letting them play the game
they want to play.
Yeah, exactly. And just missing.
I'm just looking at that key performance index chart as well. I can't see it from here, but who's the drop off down there at the bottom?
That's you mean the player contribution index?
Yeah,
over there. Yeah, that's Chingo.
Yeah, so Chingo had a massive drop off after the second set.
Massive drop off. Yeah.
Galan
trying to keep that up, but he couldn't. I mean, 8 winners and 8 unforced errors as well.
Damn.
Nothing major there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was mainly 2 out of 3 break points for Galan and Chingo. This was more of like a kind of Classico. Two-setter where, I mean, Chingalan are there and they're not like too far off, but Koyo and Tapia just have that extra push, and that like extra break points that they can take. But yeah.
There we go. And obviously, as we mentioned, Triay and Brea, Sanchez Jose Maria, another final, a three-setter as well, which went in Triay and Brea's favor. So big shout out to them for pushing the consistency, earning that title of the Queens of Paddle.
3 sets as well. Damn,
I know, it is 3 sets.
And we'll talk about Milan now, but that's crazy. Yeah.
No, their levels are fucking so close, man. Like, it's actually insane.
Yeah.
I just,
And these are long games, man.
Yeah, I
These are
know.
really
I heard in
long
Milan
games.
as well that it was just like a super slow court, bro. And it was just like, everyone's playing much slower. No, hardly any smashes, I guess. And that's when like the real chess or 4D chess comes out of these players' minds, really. Yeah. But, now we make it to Milan. Right.
Yeah, the latest tournament and probably like the most exciting one, a P1 in Italy, which is kind of like Chingalan's sort of lucky charm, that country.
Really?
I mean, they always, they've won a few times the Italy Major in Rome, which is like Galan's sort of like, it's like his holy grail there for some reason. That court, the
paddle gods
Colosseum.
Yes.
The fucking Roman paddle gods are always in his favor.
Oh, that's amazing.
So, and they won this Milan P1 as well.
In 3 sets this time, but I'm looking at the scoreline and my eyes go straight to 6-0 in the last set.
So,
a bagel.
And why is that bagel important as well?
Oh my gosh.
Koyo and Tapia have played close to 300 matches together.
Right.
Now.
crazy.
In nearly over 300 matches they've played together, they had never, before Milan P1, lost a set 6-0.
Incredible. Holy shit.
They haven't lost that many sets, just straight
Yeah.
up, because they're Coelho and Tapia. But
Yeah.
they had never lost a set 6-0
Yeah.
in nearly 300 matches.
That's insane to think. And even, you know,
And the first time they,
it had to, that it came out of it.
I mean,
was
it had
from
to be Chingalan
Chingalan.
because it's the only, to be fair, the only other pair that could, if they were to lose 6-0 a set,
6-0.
they were be the ones to be able to do it.
That's bloody amazing.
But yeah, I mean, the main things here in this match.
Yeah, what went wrong?
Let's go through it a little bit because they lost the first one the first set. Chingalan lost 6-3.
Yeah.
6. You could visibly see in the benches chatting to their coach. They were very frustrated, man. Like both of them. They weren't frustrated at each other.
Koya and Tapia.
No.
Oh,
Chingalan.
Okay, yeah.
Chingalan, even though they lost that set, which they've done many times against Koya and Tapia, nothing was working for them.
Yeah.
They were losing. They were unfocused. They were losing many easy points, giving away points. In a few seconds, going like 40 love down. It just wasn't good. It wasn't good. And then, they just bring out the incredible mentality in the second set.
Yeah, okay.
And they managed to turn it around 6-3.
That's insane conversion, though.
Yeah, I mean...
It's an absolute flip-flop. You're losing the first set 2-6 to 6-3.
I mean, look, even if we look at set... Oh, just give me a second.
Yeah, and I'm sure we'll talk about it more, but something that Hugh also spoke about was, the fact that we need to praise Chingalan on their mentality a little bit here. And I think, this is a tournament where, especially for being number twos, pretty much, that's their headline or their scoop is that, they're always kind of not close enough to Koya and Tapia. And yet, okay, they can lose and lose and lose and lose again, picking up a few wins here and there. But really something that, we've praised them for as well is just the fact that they stick together, they win and lose together.
Yeah.
There's no, eyes that look like daggers, kind of giving them shit to each other. We know that already, that their mentality is just like one of their strengths really now that is just pushing them there. And
I
now
mean,
we're going to look at
if you look at just to reiterate what I was saying before, the first set here, we see 2 out of 6 break points for Coelho and Tapia. So they managed to break them only twice out of the 6 chances they had to break them.
Damn.
0 out of 0 for Chingalan break points. 4 winners and 11 unforced errors for Galán.
Yeah.
2 winners and 7 unforced errors for Chingotto. So it was clearly like a terrible set for them, right? And then if you go to the second set, all of a sudden it's kind of reversed. 11 winners for Galán, 5 unforced errors for Galán, 6-4 for Chingotto.
Yeah.
They managed to break them one time. Coelho and Tapia don't manage to break them. Things seem to be, getting better for them.
And then third set?
And then, third set, it was like absolute domination. 3 out of 5 break points for Chingalan, 0 out of 4 for Coelho and
out of Coelho
and Tapia.
And Tapia,
yes,
the biggest drop off was Coelho, right? Like or both really, but
it was mainly Coelho. I think the biggest like number here, the biggest stat we can look at is, I don't think I've ever seen this from Coelho. We all know how like insane he is.
Yeah.
Not just offensively, but defensively. Everything he does, he's like surgical precision and so good. But he had 24 winners, which isn't bad.
Yep.
But 29 unforced errors.
So he's got that negative.
He's got that negative ratio.
Yeah.
It is a 3-setter, so you will always get more unforced errors with 3 sets.
Right.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm kind of interested to see where those unforced errors came from really, and if that's Chingotto.
Honestly, it was silly mistakes.
Okay.
Dude, so many because I remember watching it.
That's
so
a
many
rarity
just
to
like
see.
netting smashes.
Yeah.
Easy chancletazos he had that he also netted.
Okay.
Easy like blocks, volleys that he just sent to the back wall. It was just like he just wasn't focused. He just wasn't.
Yeah, he clocked out of that.
He wasn't yeah.
And okay, so he went down to the unforced errors. Okay. It seems like the sort of answer to, yes, Chingalan won another tournament against Coelho and Tapia, but maybe Coelho wasn't playing nowhere near his best, and that was, obviously a massive impact to the game. But I'm also interested on Chingotto and Galan's side.
Yeah.
You know, what did they introduce to this game in Milan, especially, maybe even focusing on Chingotto? You know, what was their almost strategy really to making these guys, you know, shake in their boots a little bit?
I mean, like, just if you look at this is also a crazy stat, so which also kind of reiterates the 6-0.
Yeah.
Like,
Bagel.
we saw Chingo smashing more times and more effectively than Tapia.
Yeah, I mean that's when you see Chingo smash at all or smashing more in this scenario, you know something's off a little bit, and especially if it's Tapia's on the other side of the court.
And especially if it's against Koyo and Tapia, who know them so well. And
on a slow court, too.
And who know how to lob Chingo to perfection, right? Chingotto with 6 out of 8 smashes and Tapia with 4 out of 6, which is crazy, right?
Yeah.
But yeah,
insane.
I mean, going back to, I think, like, holistically speaking, like, we've seen 2 out of the last 3 tournaments Chingalan win. Going back to your question, like, what, you know,
how
are they coming out on top? I think for me, it's like a few things. Number one, which might seem a bit, I don't know, stupid or ridiculous, but it's just like break points.
Yeah.
They're just managing to break them a lot more than they usually do.
Right.
We know Koyo and Tapia are known for how well they can hold their serve.
Yeah, their consistency.
And how they can break their opponents at the exact moment, right?
Yeah.
The classic 6-4.
Yeah.
Right?
We've seen it so many times.
A million times. So as we've gone through these stats now, the numbers are there. They show how Chingalan have managed to break them.
Yeah.
And not only that, they've had more opportunities to break them as well. So they're converting more and having more opportunities to break. Whereas before, they had opportunities, but they didn't really manage to utilize them, you know? And Koyo and Tapia always come in clutch at that final moment to be like, even though they might be like 40 love down on their serve, but they just like kind of bring it back to a deuce and then just like...
Yeah, and they're sailing away and all of a sudden the game's over. And I was just like, oh my gosh.
I wanted to ask you as well, because I think this is a massive thing about... because this is what I think, like, break points, sure, but also like their mentality.
Yeah.
Right? Chingalan. Like,
yeah.
For me, and let us know what you think about this as well. Like, being, as you were saying before, the underdog for consistently for like a couple years now. You're always number 2. You're like the spare, you know. You're like the child the
middle child syndrome.
Didn't make it into like the Ivy League school, and maybe you're like, you know, doing drugs on like your parents' basement or whatever, and they're like, yeah, he's kind of a fuck up. You're always... They've been that, even though they're like
so harsh.
But you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know
right?
what you mean.
Obviously, I'm exaggerating, but yeah.
The players that don't get enough love, you know, the players that, you know, they just kind of show up second and, you know, maybe don't get the applause. Obviously, we're being a little bit hyperbolic here,
but it is true that generally they've always come out underneath.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And Koyo
and Tapia, number 1, Chingalan, number 2. And, you know, the storyline's always that they're just, you know, just too far for Chingalan to reach.
Chingo can't smash.
Yeah,
so
we've heard all of the narratives this season, and it normally ends up dogging on Chingotto, not being able to push Galan there. And, you know, it's moments like this where, you know, they get to prove themselves that they're there, that at that level. But they can clap back to the audience as well and say, look, we just beat Koyo and Tapia in 2 tournaments. Mm-hmm. And, we do it with a smile on our faces, just as big as when we lose against them as well. You know what I mean? And
that's
I think,
exactly it.
You know, obviously, because our next topic here is on Mr. Lebron, who obviously had a fucking meltdown this tournament. I'll flip back to Chingotto and Galan now, though, who just seem to have, like, impenetrable mentality. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Galan's had his moments where he drops off a little bit, but I'm talking about as a pairing here and what they do for each other and how they facilitate each other and push each other. They obviously, you know, Koyo and Tapia are a great example of that too, but really they have less pressure on them because they're just number 1s. Chingalan as number 2s have everything against them almost, where they're just like, look, we need to prove ourselves. You know, we genuinely, we're at this moment of sport and where Premier Padel is at the moment, where pushing for number 1 seems so far at some points, but you know that's when cracks start to show really, and you start to believe. You know, that's why we always go, who can Galan play with instead of Chingotto? Who can push him to you know, all of this nonsense now, which I feel like is nonsense. is just irrelevant now, because look, these guys can do it on their own, and they can do it with such strong mentality. And it really is important. That's why I brought up Lebron there, to drag him in the dirt a little bit, because they need that support for each other. We spoke about this thing the other day where we're always talking about there's too many changes in paddle, too many pairs splitting up and everything like that. And it's almost like they need to give each other that chance and that moment to like breathe and win and lose together and win together. And this whole thing on, paddle is, individual game played in pairs, which, I think we both don't really agree on. And it is a team sport, and you can't just like, win on your own. You win and lose together. You need to have the love and the compassion and the support that Chingotto and Galán have for each other. So, I really want to shout them out for that.
Even like, as I was saying before, in that, like, how visually frustrated they were after the first set.
Yeah.
They didn't let that bring them down. They've been there before, and they were like, let's fight. Now's the time. Let's bring it, And they did. And so I just think it's a massive part of their sort of like how well they're playing now and how they're managing to beat Caoello Tapia's mentality.
Yes.
Regardless of strategy, regardless of how well they're playing, all of that, purely from an emotional and mental point of view, I think that needs to be shouted out.
Yeah, 100%.
Because of what you just summed it up perfectly, right? Also, let's not forget, and I think he deserves a shout out as well, Jorge Martinez, their coach.
Yes. Who
we've heard, it's the little things that these people say in like interviews and stuff, where then I'm like, damn, they were actually right. Like Galán, this is a few months ago when at like a press conference or something, they asked him, and he was like, yes, Caoello and Tapia are very good. They are the number ones. They are incredible paddle players.
Yeah.
But they're not unbeatable.
Uh-huh.
He said it's very difficult, but not unbeatable.
Yeah.
And so Jorge Martinez, I was listening to an interview from him the other day, a very interesting one, and he was saying as well, and this interview was done in the Paris Major, so Roland Garros.
Yeah.
And he did say like, we do come out on the bottom most of the times when we face these guys, but we keep working.
Yeah.
And we go to the next tournament thinking and believing that we will beat them.
Yeah.
And we just keep going.
And we can do it.
And keep going, even though we get beat down so many times, right? So, I think that deserves a shout out.
Yeah, no, it is like so much of his responsibility. It's something we spoke about on our last episode, which was back after oh my gosh, I forgot the last episode we did. Paris Major, no?
Yeah.
And it's almost that point where their coach, and for example, this scenario, this duo of Martinez, he's the third player in this team, right? And he has so much responsibility, and he is part of creating the chemistry. Obviously, Chingotto and Galán are two humans, but to be able to manage it and win in moments like this and lose moments together, man, they're bulletproof, and they have that covered. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So as we were saying, mentality from Chingalan and their attitude plays a big part in this, deserves a shout out, and should serve as an example as well. I know what you think, but talk a lot about Galán specifically, how amazing of a player he is. Yes, because he brings the power, he brings the smash, he brings all of that, but Chingotto has really been leveling up his game, and from my point of view, I think that the Chingo angle is the difference, has marked the difference in this, like the fact that in the last three tournaments, they've beat them twice.
So what you're saying is that Chingo's sort of pushed himself to a whole new level.
Yes. Specifically,
meeting Galán there as well and bringing Galán up as well.
Specifically, yes, but specifically the Chingo Caoello diagonal.
Right, I see.
I think which was a big issue for Chingo.
Yeah.
I think he's finally, which I thought was impossible, I think he's finally trying to find its little details that are making him beat Caoello in that sense on the diagonal.
You're saying that Chingo cracked Coello's
kind of a little bit.
Yeah.
But then we have to wait, because then Caoello will go back to the drawing board and be like, okay, now I see what he's doing. Let me readjust.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So we don't know. But from what I've observed, the key is in Chingo's víboras.
Yeah.
As we've talked about a million times, right? Chingo usually goes for the bullet to Coello's chest, to his body, and Caoello can most of the times just block it perfectly, because he lobs him, or Tapia goes for the down the line lob, and then they push the net because they know Chingo can't smash.
Yeah.
Right? What Chingo's doing now, and he has been developing it, and then these last 3 tournaments, he's been doing it a lot more. Many of the times, he will get lobbed, Coelho will push, but Tapia will stay back.
Right.
So he's not afraid anymore
Mm-hmm.
of, and which is the like unorthodox thing to do, of just bandeja or soft bandeja víbora down the line.
Yeah.
To Tapia.
Tapia,
Instead
yeah.
of going for that cross-court absolute bullet.
Which
he
Coelho normally digs out with ease, like no problem.
He is not afraid to play a few in a row if he has to down the line to Tapia.
Yeah.
So that he plays with the back glass.
Yeah.
And at least they can keep the net that way.
Yeah.
Or they don't get pushed so easily, right? So that's one thing.
And also in that moment when Coelho is up front, Tapia's at the back, Chingo hits that soft bandeja, which Tapia plays off the back.
Mm-hmm.
You know that return from Tapia. Obviously, it's a return from Tapia, but if Chingalan stay up at the net as well, it really does feel like Coelho's out of position here as well.
Exactly.
So it's like what do you know? How, obviously, it's Coelho at the same time, man, with the crazy wingspan, but it's at such a disadvantage now, especially if that ball comes back to. Chingotto, because then there's a massive gap in the middle, right?
Because that's what Coelho's counting on, right?
Yeah.
Is like he just wants to push and suffocate.
Yes.
And he just wants that net really badly.
Yeah.
Chingo's not letting him do that so easily anymore, which is really something really great.
Let's go, Chingo.
Also, finding more angles now, right?
Yes.
Instead of, so we've got the down the line, so
Yeah.
that's a really open angle, and then he'll try now and find a lot more closed angles.
Yeah.
Of not going for his classic trademark biborat straight to the corner.
Cross court, yeah.
Which Coelho can, unless it's perfect, Coelho can defend with relative ease.
Yeah.
You know, it's still a really good shot. That it's not like a gift to Coelho, but it's something that Coelho knows how to deal with now, and he knows how to read.
Yeah, exactly.
But now Chingo's being like, okay, how do you handle the mesh, for example, right? Let's not forget Coelho, left-handed player. Therefore, he plays on the right. His mesh is on his backhand. He's very tall.
Yeah.
So playing maybe softer or more curved, like Bibora with more spin to the mesh, hoping for that sort of random angle, random bounce that it will have off the mesh, right? We'll put Coelho in. It's just more unpredictable, right?
Yeah, I mean, those are the two toughest shots he could probably return,
exactly.
Right? And he's playing both of them unexpectedly, whether that's to Tapia or straight to the fence. Obviously to Coelho's backhand, as you said as well.
Exactly. So we've got open angle, closed angle.
Yeah.
So
it's like the most annoying shots to receive.
And then so we've got those two, and then there's the classic one, which is down that like corner straight to Coelho.
Yeah.
But now he's found, and this is where it gets like super nerdy. But then he's found like the middle one. What I mean by that is, instead of open or closed, I've seen him do a few times. It has to be perfectly calculated, but he is Chingo, so he can do that. The Bibora that curves around Coelho pushes the net.
Yeah.
It curves around him so that he has to stretch a lot if he wants to get that volley, right? Curves around him, which will then force Tapia to have to go sort of onto Coelho's side a little bit down the middle to pick up that ball off the glass, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, so Tapia has to recover the ball. Now two players are both on one side of the court.
Exactly. So, yes. So it'll be softer, but it will be like curved from Chingo's perspective. He'll play it like that.
Yeah.
So that Coelho will stay here. It will kind of like avoid Coelho.
Yeah.
And then Tapia will have to go and like pick that up.
That's so sick. All I can think of right now. Do you know the film Wanted, dude, where they like curve bullets?
Literally.
That's literally Chingotto right now, and when he's like shoot the wings off the fly and all of that stuff. But like,
so it's those like
so
specific details. Basically, all of that is to avoid Coelho's block.
That's so sick.
And it might seem like, Hugh, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
What are you smoking? But I do think
I believe it. Yeah.
You know.
And so that's and we always say it, but like these guys are playing chess more than actual paddle at this point, man. And seeing the shot selection here, seeing how this season's almost played out, we're so close to the end, so close to the Barcelona Finals, and still like they're still trying to picking each other apart, adapting, learning. I can't wait to see what Koea comes back with. Obviously, they haven't signed up to New Giza, interestingly, which we'll talk about when we talk about the race and everything.
Yeah.
But, it's been great to see them take 2 tournaments home. Yeah, one was a P2,
Finally.
the other was a P1, but it doesn't even matter.
It's finally getting exciting.
I don't care about points anymore. I just want to see them beat Koea and Tapia, and we kind of got what we asked for. 100%. Shame we weren't here to cover that one live, but hopefully you're here riding with us now, guys. And those were the 3 tournaments that we did miss. Obviously, we'll do New Giza and the rest of the tournaments throughout the rest of the year. However, those were the games. Hugh came in pretty hard with the stats there and catching me up and catching all of us up on, how did Chingalan do this or what some of those reasons are. I also love a little bit of drama.
Hell yeah.
I love a bit of excitement. And normally the player that's attached to that word or synonymous with the word drama is our bestie Juan Lebron.
Mr. Juan Lebron.
What happened in Milan? I just saw a video of him having a tantrum on the court a little bit.
Yeah.
But obviously we both know what happened. Let's run through it.
Yeah.
Classic Lebron meltdown again.
I mean, sort of like more justified this time.
Let's run through the scenario first.
So basically, as you all probably know, he took an absolute bullet to the face.
Literally, bro.
From Tapia. It was like a point blank smash.
I think I would wake up like 1 week later in a hospital bed being like, what just happened?
It was right like under his eye. I think it hit his cheek, like the side of his face. Really strong, powerful shot. Completely unintentional, obviously, from Tapia.
I saw people being like, Tapia's too good. He can't like just unintentionally hit Lebron in the face. And I'm like, come on,
of
man.
Of course he can. And also like Lebron was running. It was a short lob from Stupa.
Yeah.
That Tapia just picked up. It was 100% a mistake.
Yeah, I know. I just see the people being like, Tapia's too good. Of course he knew what he was doing.
It was quick. He
Sharpshooter.
couldn't react that quickly.
Yeah.
I think LeBron just he ran forward.
He ran down the line and he got hit in the face. And we were met with, I don't know how to describe it, swinging arms, smashing his racket on the fence.
He smacked the fence with his racket twice.
Yeah. And at this point, Tapia's come to the net. Obviously.
Immediately. Yeah. But LeBron ignores him. He like curses. He like smacks the mesh and he just leaves the court to like, because he obviously got hit in the face, to like sit down, cool off kind of thing. The thing here is, the main issue and point of discussion, and this is what I want to get your take on, is he was obviously very frustrated because of getting hit in the face, but what really motivated the meltdown was the ref.
Yeah, the umpire.
The umpire giving him a warning.
Yeah.
And I think that was the second warning for the pair.
And
deducting a point.
Yeah, okay. So the warning was for...
Because of the crap, because of like...
hitting the fence and everything like that.
Yeah.
Which I think is quite fair.
I think it's quite fair. I think it's the right decision from the umpire. And then obviously, Juan Lebron isn't just going to be like, oh, yes, sorry, you're right.
Yeah, let me just take a chill pill and let me just sit down and process my emotions for a second.
So what happened then?
Yeah.
Like he
erupts.
Yeah. He touches the umpire. He has physical... He like... pats him in the arm like that, screaming, did you see that I got hit in the face? Then there was something about like not letting him like put ice on his face or something.
Yeah, he wanted a medic or something like that.
Yeah, and they were looking at his face, but then he like kind of like shoved him away to go speak to the umpire because he was more focused on that than anything else. But yeah, so my question to you is, should he have been disqualified because of...
I have such like a split answer here. Yes. Okay. Yeah. He tapped the umpire on the leg or the arm or whatever. I think whether it's a tap, a push, or whatever, you shouldn't really do that. And I think at the end of the day, like referees, umpires, they get so much shit. I do think they have like a pretty tough job that like, especially when there's a lot of eyes on a sport, tennis, football, like the levels of scrutiny go insane. Like they really do. And padel's on a much smaller level. I do think it's important to have that level of respect. Essentially, you might not agree with a rule or a punishment that the umpire wants to put in place. I do think you shouldn't really be smashing the side of the wall for getting hit in the face.
The warning is fair, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I do think I wouldn't. I was surprised he wasn't, but at the same time, I look at it from an entertainment point of view, and it would have sucked so much if that game got fucking cancelled or whatever because of LeBron's thing. I'm here. You got to give the people what they want at the end of the day, and that's a lot of people who want to watch paddle. They also want to watch
semis of a P1.
Yeah, semis of a P1. They also want to watch. As much as I disagree with LeBron's antics and all of this, I just do think he brings like another layer of entertainment to the sport, guys. Like he's entertaining to watch. This
Hate it or love it.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
It's
Yeah,
like,
obviously we're here for the actual game, but these moments are awesome too. Like to see outbursts like this, to see someone's reputation build over time, and that's who he is, and that's the name he made for himself, right? Like the guy who was number one for 4 years and is trying to find his way back there, but his ego is just like the bane of his existence, really. And yeah, so that is my split answer. Maybe he should have been disqualified, but I don't think it would have been the right thing from an entertainment point of view, which I know is a bit of a wish-washy answer, but that's just how I feel.
Fair enough.
I think I would have been more pissed off if the game got discontinued because of that. No, I don't think it's fair that LeBron gets to act like that.
I think I completely agree with what you said. I think the worst thing for me out of all of this is the disrespect he showed to Coelho and Tapia. And to that team. Like, dude, it happens. I know you took a really bad ball to the face. And that sucks. But like, you're clearly like, just go to Tapia's like worried about you, man. He's trying his best to like, and then he has to say in the press conference that it was obviously not intentional and that he hopes that LeBron is fine and everything. I don't know, man. Just like go to him and be like, dude, it's fine. So obviously I'm going to get heated, but like, you were
good. Let's play.
Yeah, let's play. Yeah. You're good. He didn't do any of that.
No. I mean, I'm not surprised though, really. Like,
no, I'm not surprised, but you know what I mean? I think that's like the actual shitty, like the shittiest
That's the worst thing
That's the worst thing he could have done,
Yeah.
Umpire, not whatever, but like, I think
having
not
respect
being respectful
for your
to Tapia, who's like the most respectful person, on tour or whatever.
Who knows, man? Maybe he got in their head a little bit more. I don't know, but like,
and I think they did push for like Prato and Coelho and Tapia push for like the disqualification.
I'm sure that if that's when it becomes like political at that point. Like it's just like, hey, they just did this. Surely that's an infringement of the rules. Why is this game still going? And I just imagine the Premier Padel bosses being like, no, we can't cancel this game. Like, we're doing this. The game's here. Everyone's in the arena. It's semi-finals. We are not canceling this game because one of the most explosive players emotionally on the court is having a moment. Like, that's people got to eat that up. People got to eat that up. I think that's why I'm there for it as well. So obviously that happened as well while we were away, guys. Mm-hmm. And we just got to cover that. It's LeBron. At the same time, it feels like every LeBron moment like this is kind of like he needs a therapist. He needs to do this. He needs to like manage his emotions. And I think it can't really change anymore, really. Mm-hmm. And unless he comes back a new person and just like desensitized to everything. But like that's who he is at the end of the day. Maybe he was like that since he was a kid. I have no idea. But yeah, I'm kind of here for it for an entertainment point of view. That's when it starts to feel like WWE. But
also like begs the question, if that would have it missed his eye like for a few centimeters, if that would have hit his eye, that would have been like
curious.
That would have been bad, man.
That would have been bad. I think
like is it safe? Is it not safe?
A Tapia smash with a fresh ball.
Yeah, like should there be like more protection or something?
No, they can't be wearing helmets. That's ridiculous.
Be pretty lame. I don't know. What do you guys think? We'll leave that to you guys.
Wearing NFL helmets, playing paddle, like you can't see shit.
Like this, like thick.
Yes, exactly. No way, dude. Yeah, it's an extreme sport at the end of the day. You're gonna get hit by a ball every now and then. Mm-hmm. Like that's why when you have a reaction like that, like no shit, man. Like you got hit by a ball because you're running to the net. What do you want? It's your fault.
Kind of.
I don't know who's at fault, but like, it's you made your own bed. And yeah, that's the LeBron beef, guys. And obviously we covered the 3 tournaments. We did mention this, but we do want to do a little review now on the race. And, we'll be a little bit clearer on the race here. The race is just the points this season alone nothing else, not overall career points as a pairing or whatever. We're focusing on the 2025 Premier Padel season, the points to get us to the Barcelona Finals, which, if Hugh can refresh us, it's the top 8
pairs. And I mean, that's like what I guess any
tournament
paddle player at the beginning of a season is like, my aim, or ideally, I want to make the Barcelona Finals. That's like, making it into the top 8 pairs. If you're Coelho and Tapia, you're probably going to be a bit more ambitious than that. You know what I mean? Or Lebron or whoever. But like, let's say everyone who's not like top 5, 6 players of the world, everyone's like, my main objective is to get to the Barcelona Finals and to be able to play.
Even players like Garrido must have been saying it at the beginning of the year.
100%.
And look
absolutely.
Look at
all the Fran Guerreros, Bergaminis, Javi Leals.
Exactly. The younger players,
Bautistas,
even Augsburg, if you want to throw them in there as well.
Exactly. Yeah. Those are their like main objectives,
exactly.
Right?
So we're gonna bring up the actual rankings now. At the moment, the point standings here. If we get Hugh to flash them up, and we are gonna run them up. I think I put it in the docs somewhere, Hugh, or you have them.
Yeah,
here.
we
Perfect.
have them here. So what we have is, so obviously this is for now. It is October the 20th.
Yes.
We've got New Giza happening, which is a P2, and then we're gonna have Dubai.
Yep.
Then we're gonna have Acapulco major.
Mexico majors. Yep.
And then it's Barcelona Finals. So it's really we're getting close now. It's like 3 tournaments until the Barcelona Finals.
Yeah.
Right.
So
we've got a number 1 position, Coelho and Tapia, obviously. Yes. Number 2 position, Chingalan. Number 3, Stupa Lebron.
Yep.
Number 4, Nieto Yanguas. Number 5, Sanz Navarro. Number 6, Dineno Augsburger.
Yep.
Number 7, Leal Bergamini. Number 8, Momo González, Fran Guerrero.
Exactly.
Those, for now, are the top 8 pairs that would go to the Barcelona Finals. And looking at the points here and the point difference, I'm pretty sure they will be the pairs that will actually make it. Because
when you look at the current point standing now, it is tight. But, really, if you look at the bottom of
we've got the next closest pair, which would be pair number 9 in the world, Tello Alonso.
Yeah.
They're like
2,500 points.
Close to 2,000 points away from González Guerrero.
So unless there's some absolute shockers lower down on the table ranking here, it does feel like these are the guys that are going to go into the Barcelona Finals, which is pretty great. I think maybe our points of contention just on the men's side for now, and then obviously we'll do the women's after, is the points gap now between Coelho and Tapia and Chingalan after Chingalan have won 2 tournaments now.
Which we thought was massive. Yes. And it has been for the whole season.
Yes. It's actually getting quite close now because I think over the next tournaments in New Giza and in Acapulco or Dubai, Coelho and Tapia are defending their points from last year. So
yes, they are.
For those maybe who aren't familiar with the scoring system and the point system here, it's a little convoluted, but I'll give you a quick summary. If you won a tournament last year in 2024, and then you're playing the same tournament in 2025, you're defending your points essentially from last season. So, for example, if Chingotto and Galán come up against Coelho and Tapia in the Dubai finals, Coelho and Tapia will be defending their points here. That will be deducted if they don't win this Premier Padel final in Dubai, for example. So there's a lot of pressure right now on Coelho and Tapia really defending their points from Chingalan, because that's really like the opportunities where Chingalan can actually push to kind of get way closer than we were anticipating by the end of the year, which is very, very exciting, guys. Like it is actually close. Ignore the global collective ranking or points that Coelho and Tapia have picked up over the year. If we just focus in on the race, I think the gap now is about 2,500 points.
Yeah.
Or 2,000 points.
With 6,500 still to play.
Yes, exactly. That's up for grabs. And we know now that Coelho and Tapia aren't going to be playing in New Giza. Yes. Or potentially, there's rumors right now.
Yeah,
there's a chance.
I mean, they're not signed up.
They're not signed up.
Not exactly sure why.
Yeah, it is a P2, so it's 600 points that they can pick up. But yeah, it is kind of interesting to see Chingalan actually be a lot closer, despite the feelings of this year, how many wins Coelho and Tapia have. And I really do feel like it's going to run all the way till the Barcelona Finals, I think. And that's just going to be insane. You know, I can't, for a pair to win based on like a finals of the tournament, Barcelona Finals is what I'm talking about. Like, that's like amazing, man. Like, the competitiveness is there. You know, we do feel like Coelho and Tapia are, you know, sometimes way too far apart. But really on just the race, if you want to call it that, it's much, much closer. You know what I mean? And, you know, that's something that we can feel on the women's side as well. Am I missing anything on the men's side?
I mean, no, it's basically just
Chingalan.
Chingalan. They could potentially, at the end of the season, be crowned
number ones.
Yeah.
Which would be a weird feeling.
Which would be a really weird feeling.
That's why I'm like, this point shit
That's why the number one spot is so difficult to keep.
Yeah.
Because if you're number one, means you won a lot last year.
Yeah.
This year, you have to win the same or more to keep it.
Yeah, it is tough.
And the other people
they're hungry, man.
You know, they're hungry, and it's easier for them to rank up points, right?
So it is, you know, really exciting, guys. We can't wait how the next few tournaments are. Keep an eye on, you know, who's getting to the finals, who's not playing, because every point matters now between Chingotto Galán, Coelho, and Tapia.
Yeah.
So that is something that we wanted to share our excitement for. And obviously, we want to run through the women's side as well, right? Obviously, the new Queens of Padel of 2025, Delphi Brea, Gemma Triai, almost, you know, tournament by tournament, it's between Sanchez Jose Maria and Delphi and Triai. And, you know, we just saw the last three tournaments and we touched on very briefly, taking on Sanchez Jose Maria, beating them three times in a row now, separating that gap. Yes, Sanchez and Jose Maria have been, you know, the queens of paddle for
the last
two 3 years. And gosh, you know, just Gemma Triai is an absolute spectacle. So is Brea. Definitely, you can hear we have a slight bias, obviously. But we're excited to see it. And if we just quickly run through, then we have Sanchez Jose Maria in second, Claudia Fernandez, Bea Gonzalez in third.
Like the top three.
Exactly.
We
have Ustero Arujo in fourth now.
Playing amazing paddle, by the way. They've had making semis, making finals.
Exactly. Their consistency is great as a new pairing as well. Marta Ortega and Tamia Carter, who is also kind of being put on the radar ever since they started their partnership maybe 2 or 3 tournaments ago.
Yeah.
Very, very explosive, very consistent. And obviously, you know, big shout out to Marta Ortega. She's a legend. And then you have Claudia Jensen and Alonso here. So another pairing that, you know, could have their moments as they have had this year, but you know, it's a little bit separate. And then look, we've got an old legend and a young player here, maybe one of the oldest and the youngest players together, Salazar, and then Martina Calvo as well. Is that the 8?
And then we have number 8 with Marina Guinart and Vero Virceda as the number 8 pairings. Just to point out, I mean, right now, Osorio and Victoria Iglesias would be pair number 9. Yeah. They would be out of the Barcelona finals, see what they can do. I just want to point out how Ustero and Alonso last year played together in the Barcelona finals.
Yeah.
And they both miraculously deserved, but like unexpectedly made it to the Barcelona finals ending up 2024 as playing in as the 8th best pair in the world,
the youngest players,
and now with different pairings, obviously, but they make it again. Ustero being, you know, number 4 pair in the world.
Yeah,
and shout out to Martina Calvo as well.
The
she's super junior who's like 17 years old or something like that.
Yeah,
and
she's still a teenager.
Who's made it? Who's playing amazing paddle, and she's made it into the. Well, we don't know yet, but she's hopefully and most likely going to make it into the Barcelona finals.
She's an absolute beast, man, honestly. And just to be that young and handle that pressure already, she's got her whole career ahead of her. So, a moment like that, getting into the Barcelona finals for the first time for her, would be massive for her. So, big shout out to her.
Important, I think, as well to point out, for the men's side, let's not forget that Koki Yanguas and John Sanz won the Barcelona finals last year.
Yeah, which was nuts.
Crazy.
Most unexpected
against Coelho and Tapia.
Yeah.
I don't know how many points are in play for the Barcelona finals, but it is like a lot of points.
Yeah.
It is the most important tournament. But you know,
anything can happen, guys.
Yeah.
Like really anything can happen. It's one tournament at the end of the day. Like You know,
Exactly.
we know all of these people are competing in it, but it's their last chance, whether you're rank 1 or rank 9.
Yeah.
Like, really anything can happen, and we got proved that last year.
Yeah.
So we have a lot to look forward to. That is, you know, the Barcelona Finals. This is the race, guys. Yes, it is a little bit staggered, but, you know, I think lower down in the rankings, there's some contention, some excitement, and a lot of pressure building up over the next few weeks. Okay, so that was our coverage, guys. Yes, we covered the 3 tournaments we missed. The race, the excitement building up towards the end of the season here. And, you know, as we're playing a catch-up episode...
Let us know as well, by the way, your take on the race.
Yes.
Who do you think? Does Chingalan have a chance?
Yes.
What do you think on the women's side? Please let us know on the comments.
For the Chingalan fans out there, do you think we're going to see some more wins over
Yeah.
Cuellar and Tapia from them? Have they, as Hugh said, or Hugh was breaking down for us, has Chingotto figured out Cuellar's weaknesses here? How fast is Cuellar going to adapt to that? We don't know, because these guys are absolute mind freaks when it comes to, you know, doing their thing. They're very good at this, obviously. So yeah, we're going to go into a little fun segment here. Obviously, as I said, we said multiple times, we are away. Obviously, I love paddle. So if I do find myself in a different place, location, I want to check out the paddle scene there, what it's like. As I mentioned, I feel like I'm saying as I mentioned a lot, but I was obviously in Portugal, played some of the cheapest paddle there at beautiful courts, but might I say, like, very nice, chill vibes, amazing place. I'll flash up the name of the place, because I don't remember it right now, but it was an amazing spot. I love playing there. Cheapest paddle I've ever played. Obviously in London, they set the price so high here. And I genuinely thought at that point, okay, yeah, we are in London. We get it. It's expensive here. Paddle's also a new sport. Still expensive when you hear people on the price of what you pay in Spain and etc. And I was over in New York, and I go, hey, cool. Let me take this off the list. Let me go play paddle in New York. And, you know, I was staying in an area in Brooklyn, and there's a paddle club there, which I'll name. It's called Paddle and Greenpoint. And I hop on Playtomic, and I'm like, okay, sick. 15-minute walk from me. This is going to be amazing. I'm going to get all, you know, my mates there to come play paddle. By the way, I'll, you know, for the proper paddle fans here, my friends don't play paddle. So it's one of those things where it's like, oh, it's just for fun. Yeah. Not going to get a proper game
Let's go hit the ball around a little bit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
1 hour, 1.5 hours, messing around type of thing. You know, we're just having fun at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I open up Playtomic, and I find this club, and I go, my eyes just like roll to the back of my head, and I just don't know what the hell this is. For 1 hour of paddle, I'll let you guys guess now in dollars, if you want to say. How much do you think 1 hour of paddle costs in New York at this specific club, I'll say? Hugh, any guesses? Or you kind of know already, right?
But I would have said...
Yeah, if you would have said...
I would have said 1 hour in New York. I would have said, like, which is already, I think... I would have said maybe, like, $150 for an hour, which is
expensive.
Crazy expensive.
Very, very
already.
Expensive. No, I just see for 1 hour, it's $320. And if you want to play an hour and a half, it goes up to $530 to play an hour and a half of paddle. Obviously, you split it 4 ways, but I was just like, this is insane. This is really insane. And I kind of went on like a rabbit hole thing, being like, is this really where the price of paddle is in the US? And I looked at a couple of other clubs. The other club being Reserve,
in Miami.
Which is, they have one in New York
as well.
And I don't know if you know this. I'm pretty sure Pablo from the Fourth Set did an episode there, and he goes a little bit more in depth. But I went on their website. You pay a $1,000 a month membership to play paddle at this club, and I'll preface that, yeah, you do get unlimited games. I believe that's what you get. You can book as many games as you want.
I mean, I hope you do.
I mean, at that rate, you know, to make your subscriptions worth at the rate of paddle, you need to pay like 2 or 3 games.
Do you get like an umpire that comes with that as well?
I'm
like
pretty sure.
Ball boys,
I'm pretty sure Coelho is going to be your partner at this club or something like that, man. And that's when I was just thinking, I was like, damn, man, you know, paddle is so in New York. I'll preface that because obviously I went on. And I was like, okay, let's check out Miami. I know Miami's probably one of the most popular cities in the US that, you know, is really riding for paddle. Obviously, Reserve Cup that happens. And Reserve as a club also is the one of the biggest clubs there. But the prices do drop down to more normalish, you know, what we're used to. I say normalish, I'm talking about between $80 to $90 for an hour and a half in Miami. So yeah, okay, there's a little bit of difference. Yeah, okay, maybe in New York I was in an expensive area or something like that. But yeah, it did get my brain ticking a little bit on like, really, how is this going to shape paddle? How is this going to be the introduction to how a lot of new people to paddle, newcomers to paddle, perceive it, right?
But I think that's the issue. I think right there you hit the nail on the head. I think that it's not possible because it's inaccessible. So like it's not like, oh, the next generation of it's nowhere near. Few finance bros who like,
I was gonna say,
like crazy salaries or people with a lot of money,
or the corporate client, or the companies that go and play.
that will rent out the place for a day and like they do like a social there.
Exactly.
Like it's not really a sport. It's more of like an elitist activity.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, that's what I mean.
So I think that's how they are marketing it in the US.
Yeah,
and I think it's terrible. That's
what I mean. And I was like, look, we know the arguments here for justifying the price of paddle in London, which we pay between 60 and 70 pounds for an hour to an hour and a half. Yeah, okay, the rent is expensive. The cost of running the club.
Just in general, expensive.
That's what gives them the leverage to be like, okay, this is how much our hour costs, basically.
And also, like, I do understand, just it's pure, like, the laws of demand and supply.
Yes,
right?
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Paddle's been so popular here over the last month.
And there's not enough, like, because it's only been, like, 5 years since it, like, started here in the UK.
Yeah.
They haven't had enough time to build. In Spain, there's so many courts, or Portugal, or Italy, or because there's a lot more offer, then they can just like bring the price down because there's no need. Here, or in New York, or in Miami, everyone wants to play. It's the hot new thing.
Yeah.
Everyone's super excited. So the price that people are willing to pay for an hour of paddle is a lot higher. And because the market knows that consumers are willing to pay this amount, then they're just like, all right, then we're just going to pump it up because people are going to pay anyway.
And we kind of feel that here at the prices we play here in London,
which is already super expensive.
It's already crazy expensive. Obviously we love it. So we're, it's exercise at the end of the day. It's social. We know all the benefits and why we like it and why we're obsessed with it. But yeah, it just kind of, I don't know, it was kind of a shitty feeling. I was like, damn, man, really, is this how much it costs to play in outlet? I'll specifically be in New York. Like that's awful, man. Like that is insane. No way the prices are justifiable enough to set that as the standard rate there. And what I'm also seeing is that you can play your 1 hour game of Playtomic and spend almost $1,500, $500, which is fucking insane. Or there's other clubs, there's another one called Paddle House, which introduced like a $210 a month membership.
Oh, perfect.
Which I'm like, oh, that's a deal in the grand scheme of things, man. Like, gosh, dude,
$200 a month. That's
$200 a month, man. That's it's insane.
And then that probably only means that, like, it reduces your price to like, instead of $300 per hour to like $150.
I look at the website, it's like, and you get a T-shirt. I'm like, fuck me, bro. Like, sick, man. Yeah, that's amazing, dude. Yeah. I will preface, these clubs are very nice. They come with showers, a gym, maybe a gym. I don't know about a gym, but the facilities are nice. Don't get me wrong. It's just, I don't care about that.
Facilities can't be like, facilities could be the best facilities in the world, in the universe, in the history of humanity.
Yeah.
But never nice enough or too nice for it to be like that expensive. You know what I mean?
Silly,
like how nice can it get?
Yeah,
Great.
exactly.
It has showers, has a really nice couch and a cafe, and free Wi-Fi.
Dude, I just can't imagine paying that much and losing, bro. That would drive me insane. Yeah,
and it's like, it's an actual, like, it's a
80-year-old dude. Like, all right, let's go. Sorry, I just spent $200.
Like someone who's never played before and just put their level at like whatever.
That's what I was alluding to, and I was like, let me get my mates to come and play with me, and we'll go there. And I just see is like, how do you guys feel about paying $190 each for an hour? Like, it's absolute ludicrous. So
you have to do a full background check of every single person you play with, partners and rivals, to make sure that it's going to be a good game,
a good level game. And I was just like, Jesus Christ, man. So I don't know if we have any listeners in the US, shout out how much you're paying for your local clubs. Or actually in general, like, let us know how much you guys pay for playing paddle from wherever you are in the world. Really, we're kind of curious on
Italians, Belgians,
literally
people
Dubai
from the Middle East.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think we have a few people in South Africa as well.
Yeah,
so how's the South Africa thing there?
Is it also expensive? Has it chilled out a bit?
Yeah.
Like, let us know. And do you also think it's just absolutely insane paying almost $400 for an hour of paddle? Yeah, literally, man. It's absolutely nuts, man. So yeah, that was like a fun little segment that I wanted to touch on. And you know, we are going to move on to our last segment for this episode. And it is just something that me and Hugh seem like we keep coming back to, right? Yeah. And this year, maybe even compared to last year, we've seen probably the most amount of changes between partners, paddle partners, teams, just absolute chaos sometimes when it becomes a bit too silly. When this person's now playing with this person's injured, now they're playing with this. And it, to me, and this is something, you know, a topic we've spoken about 2 or 3 times now, and we've tried to come up with our own sort of solutions, or if we could be the boards of paddle, you know, what would we change? What would our answer to this be? Because obviously I think both of us agree that we don't like that players can just, you know, musical chairs dance on a regular basis.
Not
like, you know, Garrido, shout out to Garrido because I feel bad because he's had like a really fucking tough season. He's had like 7 partners now, which is just like absolutely insane. And I wanted to go and ask you this question. Obviously, we think it's damaging, but you know, if there was something to introduce, how would you regulate this? I'm going to call it an issue. I think they got to chill it out a little bit. Like, you know, we were speaking the other day about it basically, and Hugh came up with an interesting thing. I think you heard something in an interview as well.
I've heard people. This is not my original idea, but I've heard people throw this around, like few content creators, paddle professionals, about the concept of a transfer window, like in football.
Yes,
where basically you are not allowed. So you put in place a regulation that allows for changing of pairs only to happen twice a year. So obviously in football, right, you've got the summer transfer window and the winter transfer window, 2 markets where you can kind of buy, sell players, all that stuff, right? So the same thing, but it applies to paddle. Obviously not exactly the same. And I think there's details here where that needs, because it's for this specific sport, but like you are allowed to seek out a new partner or decide to change or stay during those, like that, whatever, those
1 month.
So 2 months a year, let's say during the breaks, actually. There's 2 breaks, right?
Exactly.
You've got the August break, and you've got the summer break, and then you've got the winter break in like January or like December, right? That is when you can call up your Garridos, your Denenos, whoever you want, who's on the list. Everyone's sort of like on alert, and then that's it.
And let it all happen in one period of time. I think that's such a lit idea. Like, it would be so cool. A lot of hype. Obviously, there's a couple of details that just came to my mind now when I'm just like, you know, okay, there's a transfer window and we're comparing it to football. Football players get bought out and stuff like that. It would be kind of crazy if they're like, you know, seeing the headline like, Coelho is now playing with Galán on a $1 million move or some shit like that, you know?
No money involved, but just
exactly.
just purely like
vibes and
changing of teams in football, while changing of pairs.
Exactly. Because I think it is ridiculous. We did say in the last 2 segments ago about, you know, paddle being an individual sport played in pairs, and you know, I don't necessarily agree with that. And I think it gets a bit silly. Just from a fan point of view as well, when you can't keep up with the teams anymore. And I think such a powerful thing of sport is supporting a team. You can love Coelho, you can love Tapia. I think there's a lot of Coelho and Tapia fans out there. You know what I mean?
Because they've been together for so long, and they're obviously like the best. But for example, for me, like I'm a Koki Yanguas fan. Like, that's my team. And like literally, like whoever they play against, I will always support them just because I like them. As players, I like their style. You know, they're like underdog-ish sometimes as well. And I personally like that. But like, especially, you know, there's a lot of kids, a lot of like young people coming into the sport as fans, as amateur players, who kind of idolize the Galans, the Lebrons, all these top players, you know, asking for autographs, pictures, all that stuff. So, and that's like a beautiful part of the sport, right? How like amazing would it be if it was like, you know, like an actual oh, I'm a Barca fan, I'm a Madrid fan. Well,
Exactly.
you support this team or
Yeah.
that team. By team, I mean pairs, obviously, right?
Yeah.
I think that would like add a lot to the sport. You
Yeah.
can't do that at the moment because
It's chaos sometimes.
2 tournaments in, all of a sudden it's
Yeah.
they're with someone else. And not only that, it like the problem is it does the trickling effect, right? The domino effect
Yeah.
of if these two aren't playing together, then I'm going to call up someone else, and then this guy's free, and then
it gets messy, man.
everyone changes
Yeah,
up,
exactly.
right?
It's a whole shuffle system here, and yeah, like it is exciting when okay, there's 6 new pairs of the tournament, but I think for the long term building of a fan base here, something for the audiences to hold on to.
Yeah.
Like they need that idea of fandom or a team that they know will stick together. Okay, yeah, you can look at the top 5 or 6 pairings and like without too much consideration, you can say, okay, I think they're going to stay for the season at least. That's fine. But yeah, when you go down a little bit further, it's just insane. So when Hugh brought this up, I was like, I wanted to talk about it on the podcast because it is a topic we speak about often.
Yeah.
Just because it's just like for us trying to keep up with it as well and tell you guys this. It's just like, this is just insane now because like, 3 months left of the season and we had 8 changes that happened, which then creates just more chaos basically.
The only other thing I will say, I don't know what you think. I don't have a specific solution for it or a suggestion, but like this transfer window idea, I think comes from the fact that it's either that or you change the ranking and point system. Because the only reason we are seeing so many changes is because the players are forced to do this. Because the ranking is individual.
Oh, yes. I see what you mean.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
like
the tactical.
Exactly.
I got to play with this person because that brings our
global
ranking up.
Exactly. So unless they did some sort of change there where, I don't know, I'm just like, this is zero thought.
We're just spitballing here.
Spitballing. If like maybe you have like the team points.
Yeah.
And that's like the most important thing. And if you separate, then maybe something happens there. You know, the point is players now are just like jumping around because they want strategic changes, right?
Yeah.
It's like it's the same thing that happened to like Cardona Osberger.
Exactly. Yeah.
So there's this part, and then just like maybe to like finish off with this point. Also, like it gives no time for teams to work out, like purely from like just a paddle point of view.
It's chaos.
It's like, okay, well, we've played 2 tournaments together and now we're separating.
Yeah.
This is like presidential elections. Like, dude gets elected for 4 years, takes him 4 years to try and make the changes that they want to do, and then after 4 years, someone else comes in office.
Yeah.
And they're going to like undo everything that they've done, So it's like you're not giving it time for it for the pot to brew.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Build on, yeah.
Dude, it takes time. This is a sport. This is about chemistry. This is about figuring out other rivals as well and seeing, how you can come up against them. Why is the El Clasico such a big thing and why is it so interesting as well for us to talk about? Well, because it's happened a million times. Because these pairs have stick together.
Yeah, exactly.
And the coaches, the players, it's a very interesting chess game every single tournament when they face each other, figuring each other out, having to look at Chingo, as we said before, having to re-strategize, find new ways of playing. That makes the sport exciting.
100%.
Osberger and Cardona were playing amazing, managing to
that one sucked.
To beat like Cuello Tapia, Chingalan, Stupa, Lebron, managing all that. And then all of a sudden, they separate. The coach is even like, Jorge Martin was like, what? Guys, like he showed up to the training session and he was like, oh no, by the way, we're not playing together anymore. He's like,
thanks for letting me know.
Thanks for letting me know. There's no consistency. There's no information. I think the whole issue with the coaches then is also a big thing.
Yes.
Like you're coaching this player who's now teaming up with this guy. So you're like, adjusting to that as a coach, making sure that, getting to know the other players so that you can travel to the tournaments with them, coach them together. And then all of a sudden, 2 tournaments later,
like, see you later.
It's someone else. It's just chaos.
Yeah,
man.
no, it does feel like that. It does feel insane. I think just like a lot of the decisions, just more consequences once you're locked in, right? And I think the decision making would be a lot more thoughtful than just kind of like the Wild West, which is what it feels like at the moment. But yeah, I think that would change, a large shape of the game, a large shape of the feeling of a tournament. And yeah, I just kind of want to know what you guys think as well.
Yeah.
Like, do you care that pairs are moving this fast?
Is it good for the sport? Is it bad for the sport?
Yeah. Obviously, we shared our opinion on that, but we always want to know what you guys think as well. So, drop it down below in the comments.
Because it's an interesting
and let
talking
us know,
point.
guys.
Yeah.
But look, we reached the end of our episode here. We're back in the studio. Hugh's got his mic
I've
back
got
as
our
well.
mic back.
Which you guys probably didn't care, but I cared about.
Yeah. It is nicer. It is
and
nicer.
yeah, obviously we're here. We got New Giza coming up next week,
which we'll review.
Yes.
I'm going to Dubai.
Yes, Hugh's gonna be in Dubai.
So we're figuring out how that's gonna go down. But we're gonna do something.
We're gonna send him our correspondent, our foreign correspondent, over to Dubai and get some on ground action.
Middle East correspondent.
Exactly.
On the grounds.
So if you want any insider scoops from Hugh, we're sending him out there. Put them in the comments down below.
We've got some. I'm sure we've got a lot of Dubai listeners.
Yep.
If you are around and you want to meet up, chat, whatever,
shoot us a DM.
Do let us know. Shoot us a DM. Let us know in the comments.
Yeah,
it'd be lovely to meet you guys in person. And then we've got the major and then finals. But we're back for the rest of the season.
Yes, we're here. We're not going anywhere.
Yeah,
and you're gonna hear our voices. So stick around.
Episode 24. Next one's gonna be 25.
Yep, which has a good ring to it.
Quarter of a century. Kind of. Episode for us, the next one.
As we come up to a year of doing the podcast, guys.
Yeah,
so
literally.
Whether you're new, old,
Dubai P1
was our
first proper episode last year. So Dubai P1 will be.
And look, Hugh's going to be there on the ground, which is incredible to think, really, like in 1 year's time.
How far we've come.
Yeah, no, look.
So thank you guys for all that. You know, because all the comments, all the love.
Yeah, we've missed you.
Yeah, everything. We do this for you guys because we want to share our love for paddle with you.
Exactly.
So thank you for being there, and let's keep this family growing, man.
Let's do it, guys.
We love it. We love it. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Cool.
Sweet.
Alrighty. Let's do thumbnails while this is
Yeah.
running as well.
And selfie.
Thumbnails and selfie. Let's do thumbnail first so we can get it out of the way. And then I can pause the camera because I'm not sure how long. We got 4 minutes of record time. Okay. Do you want to move your mic here for the thumbnail?
Sweet.
Okay. This is like the catch-up episode, so I guess more like, come with us. Did you miss out?
We're back.
We're back?
We're back, baby. We're back.
Let's go.
We're back.
No way. I'm gonna look up there. Wait, I feel like I didn't do one I like yet. I'm just gonna be like.
I was gonna be like, we're back.
We're back.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Sweet. I love that. Let's do a little selfie.
Sweet. Okay.
I think just like a random, just like a normal.
No, I'm not gonna salute. What the fuck? Peace. Wait, one more. I did 2 thumbs up. I don't know why. There we go. There we go. Or should we bring our podcast mic in, I guess? I don't know. Looks a little bit more official.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Let's go. Paddle. We love paddle. We're back.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I think.
Okay, that's thumbnail selfie. Oh,